Today, we are talking about all of the May the 4th promos happening this year on LEGO.com. There are some amazing sales, gift with purchases, double VIP points, and even quadruple VIP points on a couple of retiring sets. Whatever you choose to purchase, if you spend $160 or more, you'll receive this Trade Federation Droid Carrier set. This set looks awesome, but I do have some concerns. Let's start with the box. Last year for May the 4th, we had the 40591 Death Star 2. It had a 40th anniversary plaque for Return of the Jedi and a black collectible adult-oriented box, which thematically connects it to sets from other adult-oriented themes like helmets, dioramas, and the Ultimate Collector series. This year's set is a reimagining of this classic set from 2001. Obviously, the new set looks a lot better, the curves are a lot more pronounced, the box art looks very nice, and even the construction is a callback to that old droid carrier. You have 6 regular battle droids and 2 of these new pilots with a new and exclusive printing, but it really doesn't make sense what LEGO has done here because they've made an army building set and then released it in the least friendly way for army building possible. So a lot of people are understandably thinking of this droid carrier as a rare collectible set, which objectively it is. It will only ever be available for this one period. We don't know what the actual production numbers are for this set, but if it's anything like last year's Death Star 2, it may sell out before the end of the promotion. So you're gonna have to be fast with this one, but it seems a little strange what LEGO has done here. They've put this set in similar box art to the rest of the March and May 2024 Star Wars releases, which tells me they're considering it more of a play set. LEGO has made the perfect droid battle pack, an army building set, and then released it in the least friendly way possible for army builders. So what is this set? It must be a rare collectible set, but it doesn't have the black adult-oriented box art connecting it to the rest of those sets. The droid carrier is not the worst choice if you wanted to pick a CIS vehicle for a gift with purchase. It's a little bit obscure, kind of like the Death Star 2 from last year. That was a remake of a set that hadn't been remade in nearly 20 years. Looking here on eBay, last year's Death Star 2 is going for around $50 to $60. Of course, after you pay shipping and eBay fees, you're going to be netting closer to $40 or $45 if you sell this gift with purchase today. I can tell you because I was around last year and selling these sets last year that this price has not moved in a year. If we look on Camel, we can see that the Amazon price today is $90.50. But if we go back to May a year ago when this set first released, it sold for $90 then. So with this in mind, if you want to get the maximum amount of value back with your droid carrier, it's probably best to sell it as soon as you get it. The Death Star 2 had a purchase threshold of $150 compared to this year's $160, so getting $40 to $50 back is between 26 and 33% back on your purchase price. So a lot of people are really hyped for the droid carrier, and honestly, I am too. We haven't had a bona fide droid battle pack since 2007. Of course, you do get a tri-droid and a STAP, as well as some amazing droid minifigures in the currently available Clone Trooper and Battle Droid battle pack. So it seems like after a long dry spell, we're finally getting some droid sets again. The blue color scheme AAT from 2020 has grown in price tremendously since it retired, and droid vehicles typically appreciate in value after they retire because all the clone army builders need something to fight their clones. So I'm just a little confused on the battle droid carrier. A lot of people have high hopes. It will definitely be desirable for some older collectors who are around 20 years ago when the first droid carrier came out. And for anyone who was already considering buying some LEGO Star Wars sets this early May, this is a great incentive to maybe increase the value of their cart and drive more sales, which is ultimately what LEGO wants to do with gift with purchases. That's why they include them. If you are going to buy some Star Wars sets this May the 4th, you definitely want to use Rakuten on top of all these other promos to get an additional 2.5% cash back. If you don't already have it, you can get a $30 sign-up bonus today, meaning if you purchase something for $40, you will get a check in the mail from Rakuten with 30 of those $40 coming back to you. For any purchases of $40 or more, it looks like you will get an AAT Polybag, which actually looks amazing. We have had an AAT Polybag before from back in 2011, back when Polybags were only $4. We got this monstrosity. I love this vehicle, especially in this color scheme, but with these going out on any purchase over $40, I would expect a lot of sell pressure coming very soon to this set, which of course would cause the price to drop. This is kind of interesting. If we go over to Bricklink, go to the price guide tab for this set, 97 sellers have a total quantity of over 5,000 units available at an average price of $6.50. If we look at the times this set is actually sold, it's sold 3,211 times in the last 6 months for an average price of $467, which is actually pretty close to the MSRP. I've talked about this set a lot in the past. I love this vehicle and I love this set. If we look on Amazon, this set is already selling for between $10 and $15. If you can source this set for $3 or $4 and sell it on Amazon for 10 or 12, even after fees, there's some opportunity there. Then if we scroll down, it looks like LEGO Insiders VIP people can get a Battle of Yavin collectible with a purchase of $90 or more. This is a collectible coin. Actually, I like it a little bit better than last year's Death Star plans. It has this iconic shot of the backside of an X-Wing as viewed from Darth Vader Vader's TIE Fighter. If you're already going to spend over $90, this is a nice little bonus, but I wouldn't add anything else to your cart just to get this collectible, because last year's Death Star 2 coin is not doing much on the secondary market. So if you've decided to spend $160 and get the Battle Droid carrier, you may be asking yourself, what should I buy to reach that threshold? And while there are some great looking new releases available, the Droideka, the Starship Collection, and of course the incredibly overpriced Mos Espa Pod Race, as LEGO investors, we don't want to be buying new releases unless they're due to retire in the coming months. And since all of these sets just came out, they're not on the retirement list, and I'm quite sure they won't be retiring at the end of this year. LEGO suggests you could buy the UCS AT-AT, which is maybe not a bad idea. On a huge purchase like $850, you only get one of the Battle Droid carriers. You're not going to be able to get 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Just because you spend 5 times the threshold doesn't mean you're going to get 5 gift with purchases. But the UCS AT-AT does qualify for 4 times insiders points. So if you buy it this May the 4th, you'll receive $170 in insiders points to use for future purchases. The Cantina is a little bit more reasonable at $400, but I do want to point out that last year's $400 set, the UCS Gunship, saw a very brief 30% off sale, and so LEGO might do something similar this Black Friday with the Cantina. If you think that LEGO is likely to do a sale like that, you may want to hold off on purchasing this for now, but if you think highly of the Cantina, or you definitely want to be sure you get some for investment, May the 4th is probably the second best opportunity we'll get to pick up this retiring set. The $400 Mos Eisley Cantina set also qualifies for quadruple insiders points, meaning you'll get 20% of the purchase price, $80 back for a future purchase. Of course, we also have the just unveiled UCS TIE Interceptor, 1,931 pieces for $230. The last UCS TIE Interceptor released 24 years ago and has gone from its retail price of $100, nearly 10 times in value, to around $1,000. But a 20-year-old set is so different than a modern release that it's not even really a comparable. And while I definitely won't be picking this set up because it's not due to retire anytime soon, I am interested to see how high the price goes when it temporarily sells out, because that's the first indication we'll have of the aftermarket demand for this set. Another new release we have here is the first ever 6-pack Star Wars Brickhead. We have a young Anakin, a Queen Amidala, Jar Jar Binks in Brickhead form, Captain Panaka, Darth Maul there, and of course Qui-Gon Jinn. If this follows in the footsteps of last year's multi-Brickhead Star Wars pack, the Battle of Endor Heroes, it might have a short shelf life and it may actually retire at the end of 2024. And if that's the case, this will be one that I'm watching closely. But if this set gets held back and doesn't retire until 2025, buying these sets right when they release is not going to turn out to be a good idea. So this is a risky call to purchase this on May the 4th, especially since we could see some heavy discounts like we did on the Battle of Endor. The next set I would consider buying is the Ghost and Phantom 2. During May the 4th, it'll be available for $130 instead of its usual $160. This set just came out in September of last year. If it retires at the end of 24, it'll have just over a 1-year shelf life, which seems very unreasonably short for a set of this price point. This set is also an Amazon exclusive, and the last Amazon exclusive, the Razor Crest, sold really well during its shelf life, but now that it's retired, it is off to a bit of a slow start. I love this set. I love that all 5 of the figures are unique, but I'm just not sure it's going to be retiring. We have to remember we're early in the year and the retirement list can still change. I would expect this to fall off, and I definitely don't want to be caught holding a bunch of these if it does get pushed back a year or two. So if the Ghost ends up retiring at the end of this year, I think it's going to be an amazing investment, but if the Playscale Razor Crest is anything to go by, I think this set may get pushed back. So at this point, I'm considering it a high-risk investment choice. The other 2 sets on sale this year are Chewbacca for $165 and the Emperor's Throne Room Diorama for $85. Both of these sets have already been put on better sales at other retailers, so I'm definitely passing on these. Similar thing for the Coruscant Guard Gunship. Very good set. I'm very excited about it. It's been a little bit harder to find at a discount throughout its life, so it's not the worst thing to pay full price through LEGO and get these gift with purchases on top. We could add this to our cart for $140 and then maybe make up the extra $20 by adding a Brickhead or 2. One set that I will be looking closely at this May the 4th is the Executor Super Star Destroyer, the Starship Collection. This is the only member of this collection scheduled to retire this year, and with amazing new releases like the Invisible Hand still on shelves, I could see a set like this driving demand to the Star Destroyer after it retires. Another reason to consider the Super Star Destroyer is it's been very difficult to impossible to find at any kind of discount from Walmart, which is the only retailer you can get this set at in the US. We can see here some dioramas, some helmets, but these are sets that are so deeply discounted other places. May the 4th is a great time to pick up Brickheadz from Lego.com, especially if you don't think those Brickheadz are going to go on discount. So the two retiring Brickheadz this year are the Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader, as well as the Tusken Raider down here. Those are always good to pick up, and if you need a little something extra to bump you over the threshold, that could be a decent idea. The Clone Commander Cody looks pretty good, but I wouldn't bet on that retiring this year since it just came out. Watch the list closely throughout the rest of the year to see what comes onto it and what falls off. The top three sets that I would consider buying this May the 4th are the Coruscant Gunship, the Midi-Scale Super Star Destroyer, and the Mos Eisley Cantina. I am excited for May the 4th this year. I don't think I like it as well as May the 4th last year. I'm a little bit less excited about the Trade Federation Troop Carrier than I was about the Death Star 2. If you're a small-scale LEGO investor, or maybe you're just starting out, it might not be a bad idea to place one order and pick up one of these Troop Carrier sets. Or if you do this at a larger scale, I think this could definitely be a lucrative opportunity. As always, nothing on this channel is to be taken as financial advice. Do your own due diligence. It's your money. It's your responsibility. But what do you think? Should LEGO have released this Troop Carrier as a regular set? Do you think it will go on to be as valuable as the Death Star 2 or not? Feel free to leave a comment down below. Because I am personally a lover of CIS vehicles, I loved this gift with purchase, and I'm definitely going to be picking a couple up. But it's definitely an odd choice for a May the 4th promotion. In 2022, we had Aunt Beru's Kitchen, which was also an odd choice, but it kind of made sense because that's an obscure location from just one scene in a film that would definitely never be made into its own set. The Battle Droid Carrier is a bit obscure, but it's a little bit of a bummer that this wasn't released as a mass market set. I will say I'm a lot more excited about this year's Polybag. I said it before, I love Separatist vehicles. I think this set looks great, and I think it actually has some pretty good investment potential. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it useful or interesting, feel free to hit the like button. Buy very carefully this May the 4th, and have a great day.